What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So we got a few things here that I want to bring to you guys. We're coming here with News Nation, and they're going to be talking about the situation with FEMA, and we're going to try to find out where's this damn money at out here. Hold on. I mean, that's if we can. And then we're also going to see what some of the victims are saying, because, apparently over on Fox News, they're saying that they're speaking with a victim and things like that of this situation, of the hurricane situation. And, she's saying that the resources are not there like they're supposed to be. So, all right, let's go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
Well, some Republicans are claiming that money set aside by Congress for disaster relief is instead going to migrants. But the White House and FEMA saying that is just not true. It does come as Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says FEMA does not have enough money to make it through the next 2 months. That's when the Atlantic hurricane season will end. And for years now, through multiple administrations, the agency has struggled to keep pace with an increasing number of natural disasters, including more powerful hurricanes. News 8's Joe Khalil continues our coverage from Washington. Joe, what exactly is this all about?
Well, clearly, Nicole, these claims have garnered enough attention where FEMA is now doing something kind of unusual. If you go to their website right now, they have created a tab that's labeled Hurricane Helene Rumor Response. And all that tab is dedicated to is trying to knock down claims that FEMA says are false, including the claim that money that was appropriated for Helene victims, for disaster victims, they are not getting because instead that money is going to migrants. FEMA says that.
I mean, like, is it going to migrants or is it not? Because one of the other reports said that at the end of the day, yes, the government, the powers that be, these Biden and them took money from FEMA to pay for the migrant situation. So, I mean, okay, let's keep going. Let's see.
That is not happening. What's actually going on is FEMA has spent hundreds of millions of dollars on both shelter and on support for migrants. What they do is they...
Oh, so what is that? Okay, so I'm trying to understand here. Hold on. I'm trying to understand here. So what does that mean? If you taken the money that was if you take in the money that FEMA has to use for shelters for the migrants and things like that, which are illegal technically, you clearly see half these people in this room right here came over here illegally. You taking our disaster money that we need for when we have disasters, okay? Like Katrina or Helen here, Helene, Jesus. To use to house the illegal migrants. And then you're going to sit here and try to convince us that you didn't do this. Hold on here. Let's keep going. What?
Reimburse states, cities, or towns that have come out of pocket to try to house the migrants themselves. And in some cases, the money goes directly for shelter. But it's a specific pool of funding that FEMA calls its SSP. It's Shelter and Service Program. That actually goes to Customs and Border Protection first, and then FEMA administers that money. And take a look here. You can see over the last 2 years, the specific dollar amounts that were spent on this Shelter and Service Program, $340 million. And then this last year, 2023, $363 million. So that is a lot of money. But what?
Yes, that's a lot of money. A lot of money that they're spending on them, so they don't even have the money for the fucking disaster out here.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Right. Instead of trying to justify the reason why you're saying that the money's not there. If the money, if you hadn't have done this, the money would be there. It would be there.
What they say is when it comes to disaster relief, hurricanes, wildfires, whatever it may be, that is an entirely different pool of funding that has nothing to do with the way that they administer funds for migrant housing. They say one does not impact the other.
Oh, okay. If one does not impact the other, then why don't you have the money for the disaster? Where's that at? You're clearly saying that you don't have the money for it, technically.
Now, we know that just last week, before Congress left for its recess, Congress appropriated some $20 billion for the disaster relief funds. So far, the White House says they have administered some $45 million for Helene, for the response and for victims, but they say they expect that number to rise significantly when all is said and done, that it is going to be billions of dollars. Now, even though, as we just mentioned, they got a $20 billion re-up from Congress just last week, Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says that if there is another natural disaster between now and the end of hurricane season, they may run out and Congress may have to come back and appropriate even more money. So that is what FEMA is saying. Yes, there was significant in the hundreds of millions of dollars spent on these migrant programs, but they say that has nothing to do with disaster relief. Nobody is losing money or opportunities for assistance because of those migrant shelter programs.
That sounds like a bunch of crap. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Hold on here.
You can't make this shit up.
You can't make this shit up. So, from the statements that he's saying here, he's saying that they're saying that the money that they gave to the migrants is not going to affect them being able to help the people in the disaster. But hold on. One thing is they haven't even rolled out and truly helped the people in the disaster yet. And then on top of this, they're saying also is if we have another major disaster before the hurricane season is over with, then technically FEMA gonna be bankrupt out here. I mean, you know.
You'll thank me in the morning.
You ain't right, man.
Oh, I'm right. You'll see.
Technically. Jesus, man. What do we do? Woo, man. They are taking care of everybody else except for natural born, tax-paying American citizens out here. This is getting wild. Let's keep going. All right, let's check this out real quick. You know what I'm saying? Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
As Sarah Marino, resident of Arden, North Carolina. Sarah, I'm so sorry for everything that you and your friends and your family have gone through. Describe for us, this is not about politics, this is about facts. How would you describe the government response in your area?
Yes, ma'am, and thank you for having me on. And just want to shout, my mom loves your show, watches you every night, so she's very excited about this. But, you know, this is not about me. Obviously, you know, I think from day one, the things that we were experiencing, you know, I think after 2 or 3 days, we were like, no power, no water. Like, what are we supposed to do? We're going to have to go out there and look for ourselves. You know, my neighborhood wasn't hit super hard. You know, I did have some damage to my home, but I mean, even still, I think people should have access to an MRE or a case of water from, you know, hopefully FEMA or the Guard. I think they should be out there distributing those resources. And I'm not seeing that. And I'm not hearing that that's happening. So I just, you know, I understand the gravity. Little by little, I think we're understanding how devastating this has been. But it's just like, I said this 3 days ago, like, where are the resources? And it's now Friday. It's been over a week. And I'm just not seeing that support in our communities. If anything, the community is carrying this.
Well, they're as Americans do, Americans step in the breach and they get it done. But Sarah, President Biden did speak out. He was asked the question of, what else do these communities need? Watch the exchange.
What do the states in the storm zone need, Mr. President? Okay. What do the states in the storm zone, what do they need after what you saw today?
Oh, in the storm zone?
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
What the hell you mean you don't know what storm they talking about? Oh, you better stop it. You better stop it. Are you kidding me out here? Oh my Lord have mercy. Hold on.
You old fish-eyed fool.
What do you mean with storm that they're talking about? See, this is what we're in a horrible shape right now. This is the reason why all this money's missing. Well, it's technically not missing. It's been put in certain places and moved around and stuff like that. So now that we've actually had a true natural disaster, FEMA can't actually do the things that they're supposed to be doing. Boots on the ground, generators, water, foods, the canned goods, all types of stuff like FEMA would normally do when we see FEMA drop down in the past, like parachutes in the sky and shit. I mean, all I'm saying is, though, this is wild right here. And he don't even know what fucking disaster that we're talking about out here. Come on, people. Jeez.
They're getting everything they need. And they're very happy across the board.
First of all, I said, what storm are you talking about? Then he said, they're very happy. How does that sit with the people of your area, you think?
Now, keep in mind, when y'all vote out there, hey, listen, look. Man, y'all better stop this tragic shit out here. Man, stop. Ooh, Lord have mercy. This is crazy. He don't even know what hurricane y'all talking about. Then on top of this, Kamala showing up late. FEMA talking about they out of money because they done gave too much money and resources away to these illegals. All right, yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ, like when your eyes gonna open to see what's going on here?
I have not seen that clip. I saw the one where he said, "Oh, I was on the phone for 2 hours." Good for you, I guess. But it's just like this is the man who's running this country, like, and he's saying like, "Oh, what storm?"
Well, hold on, ma'am. Hold on. Ding, ding, ding. I'm sorry, but to be honest with you, though, I think she actually voted for him. Yep. Yeah. Hey, if y'all watching the same internet I'm watching, I'm seeing a lot of divestors from the Democratic Party here come right now. And I guarantee you this storm is going to put some icing on a cake somewhere. Let's keep going.
While people are floating down the Shenandoah River, it's baffling to me and insane to me. And what's even worse is I believe, I have a background in journalism. I was a journalist for a few years. I don't take information that I don't believe is credible. And
But you're living this, Sarah. Sarah, you're living that. Your family, your friends are living this. I know you've managed to get to a place where you can rest and you can stay. But the people of North Carolina are dealing with what I understand to be now perhaps a hurricane that will ultimately be described as worse than Katrina. And yet it seems like the attitude toward these counties and these people, it's serious. It got more serious when the complaints came in. But I'm worried we're going to have forgotten people here.
Oh, absolutely that's going to happen. I mean, just the outer callousness from the administration has been, you know, obscene to me. Like going on TV and saying, oh, $750. Before she even said that, I said, this is going to be Maui all over again. You know, there are people still missing. There are people still waiting.
Sarah, Kamala Harris is coming back to North Carolina, or coming to North Carolina tomorrow. What is your message to her, quickly?
I don't have words for her. People need to vote in a month, and I hope they make the right decision.
Well,
damn. Hey. But listen, look, man, people are tired. And this storm that just happened is about to show a lot of people's opinions. I think this storm that just happened and the lack of response from our government and things like that, and the lack of funds that should already be put in place for such a thing, I think it's gonna change the tides. We need true security in our country. We need true continuity. We need to actually get back to America low-key being selfish again. Can we get a little selfish? Can we get a little selfish out here? As you natural born Americans, all this affects you all, regardless of whether you agree, disagree, things like that. But see, this is the problem with a lot of you people out there. We live on the same soil together. We can't go anywhere else and just invade their country illegally and move there, and they just give us thousands of dollars to move there and shit. This shit is crazy. And then we have, you know, another huge storm, another huge surge of, you know, life happening. And now our things that we have in place as citizens to come and rescue us, technically, when we have these natural storms or things like that, they're not in place properly because they've been maneuvered around to do other things that they should not be doing in the first damn place.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous at where we're at right now. FEMA's talking about the money that they supported the illegal migrants with. It's not going to affect them actually being able to help these people with the hurricane, but it sounds like it is, though, because y'all not coming in with the resources fast enough. You're not coming in with the technology and things like that, or whatever you want to call it, fast enough like y'all normally do. So obviously you're lacking in resources. Even the head of the fucking FEMA administration said itself. The resources are lacking. So now you're trying to do cleanup work. That's how I'm thinking about it. Maybe now you're trying to do cleanup work and come around talking about, well, we've separated these resources that we can still help these people and we could also still help these people. But obviously you can't. Obviously. Man, this is sad. Yo, this is sad, man. And we need to actually start understanding what's going on out here, man. As people, as citizens, man, we're being diminished. And it goes back to what I also keep saying throughout my broadcasts and stuff like that. And I said this before. We are the workhorses of the world. And I feel like we really need to stop being that. I think that we need to stop being that. I know that we need to stop being that because it's detrimental to us as natural born citizens that have to be here. Because en masse, we can't just go to another fucking country and move there en masse, and they just allow us in and actually give us their taxpayers' money to move there.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
But it is what it is, though, man. Hey, shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.